This is Mauna Lua Bay. It looks so beautiful on the surface, doesn't it? But underneath, it's a very, very unhealthy bay. The marine habitat is sorely depleted. Corals have been choked out.
The biggest threat to Mauna Lua Bay and to Hawaii's inshore reefs is humans on the land, creating mud, creating all kinds of pollutants that ultimately find their way into the ocean through rainfall runoff. The runoff feeds the algae, then the algae collects the sediment and creates an airless layer below it, which kills everything underneath it. Decades of urbanization has resulted in loss of the fish, and the longtime residents here, they'll tell you in their youth they could go out here in 10 minutes, catch all the fish they needed in knee-deep water. Today, you look at this bay, you'd be lucky to catch a little fish in an hour.
When you see a problem and you love something so much, and you think that there might be a way to make a difference, then that's why I got involved.
Part of our mission is to inform and raise awareness and reconnect people with the place, and then provide the tools for them to help restore the place.
We want to do CPR to the bay. We want to conserve, percolate, and restore. So what we do is we have these algae pools, and we get people in the community, sometimes it's a group from a business, and sometimes it's school children.
Look at that! This is just so gross.
And they pull this algae of what used to be a nice sandy bottom. We take this stuff and take it up to the farms and put it in compost piles and compost it.
The community has pulled roughly 3/4 of an acre to an acre out of Mauna Lua Bay. You'll see a vast carpet of invasive marine brown algae out there, but you'll see almost a swimming pool effect where the community has cleared it out. It's clean, it's sandy, there's circulation, there's fish in there.
We can start to see seagrass returning, and that's a wonderfully optimistic sign. It is an essential first step to clear the invasive algae, the mudweed, out of the bay, but we also have to deal with the problem on the land so that it doesn't continue to deliver pollutants.
Every Drop Counts refers to an awareness campaign for residents to make them understand more about their impact on Mauna Lua Bay. Everything that runs off from the rain goes directly into the ocean in Hawaii. You wash your car, your sprinkler runs off into the gutter. Even excess fresh water can be a pollutant because animals and plants in the ocean, they're not used to all this fresh water running off, and it actually kills them.
So for every drop that every individual keeps in their yard, that will be 1 drop less that's going into the bay.
There are 3 main threats that we're trying to address. The land-based pollution, the runoff of the sediment and pollutant. Secondly, the invasive marine species that you see out here. And third, the degradation of the fisheries. And when you look at how huge those problems are, you quickly realize there's no way we could attack all these large problems successfully without partners.
We were so fortunate when we first started to have a lot of assistance from the Nature Conservancy of Hawaii and NOAA to develop a conservation action plan.
Malama Mauna Lua and the Nature Conservancy as a partner applied for economic stimulus money to restore a portion of reef by removing invasive marine algae. And I think we were one of the few projects that was shovel ready, and as a result we're one of only 2 projects in Hawaii that received the stimulus funding.
I don't think there's been a project like this. It's cutting edge. There's never been an attempt to remove alien algae at this scale, and it could be the tipping point in recovery of this bay.
It doesn't feel right to live in a place this beautiful and just take from it and not give back to it.
Good morning, everybody.
This is all about the community. If we hadn't had volunteers out there pulling the mudweed, we wouldn't have begun to qualify for the NOAA funds. They're the heart and the minds of Malama Mauna Lua.
Restoration can happen in an urban area. And if it can happen here, it can happen anywhere. We're hoping that this model can be exported to other places in Hawaii and other places in the Pacific and other places in the world.
We know that it's critical that the next generation not only wants to care for the environment, but then they know how to do it properly. They know what works and what doesn't work.
This is so fun!
Never doubt that a handful of people can make a difference. It's the only thing that ever has.